you ready? The Kornelia Stephanie Show. Wake up to love, your call to action. Join Kornelia as she empowers others to live heaven on earth. Kornelia teaches listeners how to be the authority over yourself, embracing your inner guru. Feel yourself uplifted into limitless expansion, integrating ease and grace in a changing world. This show will cover topics such as unconditional love, your physical body, how to be in extraordinary relationships, create financial and emotional wealth, embracing entrepreneurship in the new earth. Welcome to the Kornelia Stephanie Show, everyone. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in. We've got the stories of hope for you today. I was thinking about it this morning, and I was thinking, my God, where would we be without hope? I mean, really, that feeling like just sometimes when you just feel like, you've gotten all that, you just can't take another thing, or you just feel really, really overwhelmed. And then there's that one person that says that one thing to you, or you listen to this one show, or you receive this one gift where this person just gives you that energy and the feeling of hope. That's what this show is about. It's here to give you that inspiration when you feel like you just can't go on and like, what's it all for? So, my guest today, Stephanie Chapman, she has 5 kids and 4 dogs, and she's an entrepreneur. And she's going to tell us, she's going to share with us how she is able to do and be a successful entrepreneur, even with 5 children and 4 dogs. Stephanie Chapman lives in Northern Colorado with her husband. She specializes in coaching and mentoring entrepreneur moms on how to become empowered, determined, organized, and passionate in their life and business. She's the founder of the CEO of Mom Strong, where she's a certified mindset life coach, nutritionist, an NASM personal trainer, NLP practitioner, and behavior change specialist. As a mindset mentor and life coach, she helps moms through life's transformations. She's passionate about the empowerment of moms and loves helping them reach their highest potential while still showing up for their families. She shows them how to embrace the chaos while mastering their mindset, which shows through in the successes in their life and business. Welcome to the Kornelia Stephanie Show.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
So you live in Colorado. Like we said, you've got 5 kids, 4 dogs, and you're an entrepreneur.
Correct.
How does one do all that?
I mean, it's been many years to get to this point, obviously, but I really just had a drive and a motivation to give my kids better than what I had growing up. Not saying I had a bad, childhood or anything, but I just wanted them to have more. I wanted them to have more experiences, and having a bigger family that requires a little bit more time independence and financial independence than, people typically need.
Yeah. So what made you become an entrepreneur? What made you go that direction?
It really was the time independence. I wanted to be able to be present with my children. I wanted to create my own hours, and I just like to do my own thing. I don't like my life being dictated by someone or anyone else. So being able to really have control over my time was my biggest motivator.
So when you meet moms today, what is the biggest challenge that you feel that people are saying, that the moms today are saying when it comes to being an entrepreneur in their business? Because you have a particular message, something that you want to really shout out today that we talked about before we came on. So what do you normally see what do you see happening?
So the main thing I find that happens is being stuck. Either they're stuck in a relationship, they're stuck in a crappy mindset, they feel stuck even with using their kids as almost a crutch or an excuse, really. That's kind of a blunt way of saying it. But it's just feeling like they can't do the things that they have in their mind. They have these huge goals, these huge visions, and they just can't seem to play it out. There's something that's holding them back. And a lot of times when we have children, we kind of lose ourselves in motherhood in general. But then you add the other dynamics like relationships and things like that. And again, it just keeps them stuck in the same place. So a lot of what I do is I help them move past that. We dig deep in where all of this started, whether it's using your kids as an excuse, or it's, maybe the relationship that you're in. Sometimes that doesn't necessarily have to be with your spouse either. This can be relationships around you, like with family and friends. So we really just evaluate all of that and come up with a plan on how to move forward.
Do you find that, because you brought up relationships and then you brought up um, the children overwhelm kind of thing that,
Yeah.
you brought that up. Do you find that if the mom were successful in her business, that, um, the other two things wouldn't necessarily be happening? They would also be successful. Do you know what I'm trying to ask?
Yes. So once you're able to put yourself first, again, because that's what it boils down to. Like I'm a two-time teen mom. So I started as a mom. My entire adult life has been a mom. I didn't really even know how to put myself first.
Mhm.
But once you really can get over that and begin to acknowledge that, hey, me being successful makes my family successful, it kind of opens doors to just a new lifestyle in general. And I think that that's what really leads to entrepreneurship in the end, is because most of us have a bigger desire and a bigger dream that we want to, bring to reality. And once we're able to do that, it's like everything else kind of falls into place and becomes so much easier.
So I'm just looking in your window behind you, and I see like some red out there. Is that your son or your kid out there playing in the yard?
So I'm actually at my office right now. I just moved into an office a couple months ago, and I think they're doing yard work out
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
there.
I thought you were possibly at home and your kids are playing out in the yard and you're in here doing your.
They're on the trampoline right now, just not here.
Okay, got it. Yeah. No, it's wonderful that you're helping moms become independent, to become location freedom, financial freedom, to be able to, utilize their skills and their gifts to really be able to design the life that they really want to have, including being a mom and being, a partner, whether it's a wife, a husband, whatever, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah. So when people are stuck, when there's the stuck feelings, like what are some of the stuckness, like stuck? Because you said stuck in mindset. Like what would the mindset be? Like give me a couple of them.
So a lot of what we work through is like those self-sabotaging behaviors. So you have that fixed mindset of like, this is just the way things are, and you kind of just accept that. I feel like that's probably the biggest thing that I run into, and that's really programmed in us from childhood. It's things we're hearing from our parents growing up or grandparents. And you just have this mentality of, one of the biggest ones that I'm hearing, a perfect example is, you have to work hard for your money, or money is the root of all evil, and all of these very negative connotations around money and success, really, especially on women,
Mm.
because, we're supposed to be the caregivers. We're supposed to, just give ourselves freely to everybody anytime. Really, that's what we are taught, especially going into motherhood too. And breaking past those barriers and realizing that that's not how things need to be. We can want to be a millionaire and that we're still a good person. We can want to strive for bigger and better things for our family, and that doesn't make us greedy. So those are like the biggest mindset shifts that I find women need to go through, not just moms, but women in general have to go through to start seeing the successes that they want.
Yeah, because I bet you find that a lot of women have the mindset that if they are rich or if they have abundance or if there's prosperity, and that even them feeling like they have a good income, that there is still some shame associated with that from the past, maybe from religion programming or wherever the programs come from.
Yeah, definitely. It's a huge thing. And like I said, even when women go to start their businesses, they're almost giving away their time for free and they're not really acknowledging their worth.
Mm.
And that's the other process that we go through is just acknowledging their worthiness and that they deserve this abundance. That's a huge shift.
Yeah. So that's wonderful that you're doing this work, So whoever's listening to this here today wants to talk to you, how can they learn more about your work and, finding out about what it is that you do? What are your social media handles?
So, Mom Strong Mindset is where you're going to find me on everything. Mom Strong Tribe on Facebook is a closed community. So, if you want to share a little bit more and be a little bit more open without having to share it to everybody on social media, that's my group. MomStrongMindset.com is also where you can find my programs. You can schedule a call with me. I have workbooks and journals. I have a ton of things on there. So, we can definitely get you started on getting on the right mindset and really embracing this abundant lifestyle that you deserve.
Yeah, I love that so much. And really, you know what? The other thing that I really love that you're doing is you're being such a wonderful role model and example for your kids.
Well, thank you. I hope that everybody can eventually achieve that too and feel that within themselves.
Yeah. I mean, we know that being an entrepreneur is not necessarily a piece of cake because it's not, because it
No.
really does require, because you mentioned the word self-care, right? You
Mhm.
mentioned the word self-care. And so yeah, you have to bring yourself into the equation. You have to care enough for yourself. And when you're be an entrepreneur, you have to care enough for your business to
Yes,
show up for your business. And that also requires, but the self-care has to come first, but then you have to show up for your business as well.
correct. Yeah, 100%. Because I mean, you can't give to others if you're not taking care of yourself.
Yeah, so self-care is really huge. But I love your name, Mom Strong. I love that, momstrong.com. Everybody go check it out. And come on, moms, let's get on this and let's get strong together. Let's rise together and let's build really strong foundational financial businesses that will support thriving entrepreneurs,
Yes.
thriving moms. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for coming on today. It's wonderful to meet you and have you here. We wish you much success and we'll see you again.
And thank you
I'm
so much
sure
for
we'll see
having
you
me.
again.
Yes,
Yes.
I would love that.
We're going to take a break on the Cornelia Stephanie Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Cornelia Stephanie Show, everyone. My next guest is a disability writer. Her name's Michelle Steiner, and she is a writer and an advocate. She has had disability articles published on the Mighty, Imagine the World as One magazine, Nonverbal Learning Project. Help me with this word. Uh, Help me with this word, Michelle. Dyscalculia.
It's dyscalculia or yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Dyscalculia blog,
Uh-huh.
Lexia Learning, Word Gathering, and your own blog is your mission. You work
Mhm.
as a teacher's aide in school and you live in Pennsylvania with your husband. So what got you started to write about this and do this work?
Well, one of the things I've always loved writing and I always loved reading. And I can remember I was in a writers group and I had a friend tell me, you really should write about your experiences with having a learning disability. And I thought, oh, I don't know if I really want to write about this. I kind of just want to go through life and have it go away and not, not have to really write about it. But I found when I finally started to write about it, it was really healing for me. And I found so many connections with other people that had disabilities that it was just amazing. And I can remember the first article I got published was on the Mighty, and it was about an ordinary task that I struggle with, which was unlocking the door with my hand because I have limited hand dexterity. And just I got such a positive response from that.
See, this is what I was saying, that, a lot of people will be able to relate to
Mhm.
what it is that you do now, and the writing and bringing this information out, because so many people have felt ashamed or felt bad about
Mhm.
their, dyslexia or whatever it might be that they have to deal with, where in our society this isn't, accepted as, um, that's why you were holding yourself back from wanting to talk about it, because you didn't know if you would be accepted,
Exactly.
right?
Right. So very true.
Yeah.
As
And
with going through school, that wasn't accepted to have a difference with learning or other things. So I kind of hesitated with that.
yeah, and I just met a man the other day that was telling
Mhm.
me, that he's dyslexic, and was letting me know, oh, this is going to take me a minute to kind of get this. I'm a little bit,
Mhm.
I've got this, and so it's like, oh, no problem. Again, it comes down to a state of acceptance. The way that we all need to be for each other, but also the education. And I think the part of what you're doing now, and that is writing about it, speaking about it, being open about it, sharing the information so that somebody else can say, oh, that's me too.
Exactly. Because a lot of times I'll get people that'll comment, wow, that's something I struggle with. I thought I was the only person. Or, and I'm glad that there's other people that are out there. And especially with having a math disability, a lot of people are more familiar with dyslexia, with the reading disability, and they're like, well, why can't you do math? And then that helps to get the education out there, and it just helps to get more information about it.
Yeah, it does. And so it takes a lot of courage to do what you're doing. That when you did say, I'm going to write about it, I'm going to put it
Mhm.
out there, I'm going to, because it takes courage to have to do that, because then we have to wait and see how is it accepted by
Right.
society and what
Mhm.
response are you going to have. But the bottom line is we need to educate each other on building our self-esteem and the things that we are overcoming. So right now you are a disability writer, and
Yes.
also you work in the school system. So tell us about those two things.
Well, I work in a school system where I help out students that have disabilities and other students that don't have them as well. So, and it's really rewarding when I'm at the school and I get to read a test to a student because back a long time ago, somebody did that for me, and that really made all the difference in my life. And even if I'll be reinforcing a lesson that a teacher did, and somebody else did that for me. And I just think that's a very rewarding thing. And just sometimes being able to show them how to advocate, because we'll have students will say, well, I'm really struggling in this area or in this class. And we'll go over some of the steps of, well, this is how you ask for help. And whenever I work as a disability writer, I get that chance to write about my experiences with having a disability, and also talking about it. That helps to educate other people on disabilities, and just to put myself out there and just to be vulnerable and just to put it what life is like.
That's so true. It's so needed. It really is so needed to have these
Mhm.
this education and this open conversation about the learning disabilities that a lot of people suffer in silence with,
Right.
right? They're,
Exactly.
they're,
Yeah.
they're suffering in silence. And so it doesn't have to be that way. And there is, if we can just sit and educate and listen and see what's needed to support someone with their learning, right?
Right. Yeah, definitely. Because that's a myth. A lot of people think, oh, learning disabilities, that's just something that once you graduate from high school, you're done with, because you won't be in some of the academics, you may not have to, but there's other ways that it presents itself for the challenges. And it's just knowing how to handle that and how to deal with that is so important.
So you're out there because obviously you ended up here. And so,
Exactly. Yeah.
right? I mean, you ended up here. So
Right.
it's like you're out there. You're definitely out there, because how did you end up here? So what do you have going as far as your social media? What's your mission? What are you doing aside from the things you're already doing, working in school? And
Right. Well, my main mission is to definitely educate people on what learning disabilities are and the impact it has on my life. I mean, everyone is going to have a different experience with that.
mm,
And I have the blog Michelle's Mission where I try to do that. And not only with the writing, but also I love photography. I love, because I can't drive, with my visual perception part, I do, if I can't get a ride, I'll walk. And that is just really turns out to be a blessing too, because I'll take pictures of flowers. And sometimes other people miss a lot of those details. And I get a chance to see those things. And part of it is the walking. Another part of it is just having the visual part of the disability kind of comes through a little more. So I get the chance to do that. And
wow.
I'll do a lot on Instagram and a lot on Facebook and some things on my blog as well. So, yep.
Okay, so tell the audience, for those that are driving their cars right now and just listening, they're not watching us, but they're listening. Where do they go? Give us direct links. Where to go?
Sure. I am, you can go to michellesmission.blog. I am on there. I'm also on Instagram for Steiner. Yeah, yep. Yep. So we got that. And you can find me at Facebook with Michelle Steiner, definitely. And yeah, definitely. So yep.
Good.
Yeah.
So pretty much Michelle Steiner,
Yeah.
Michelle Steiner. People can find you on Facebook, and then also the blog.
Yeah.
What's Michelle's Mission blog?
That blog. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's really good. And with your, Instagram sharings and your Facebook sharings, do you find that people respond to you when you're being vulnerable and you're sharing of your own?
Definitely. Yes, they do.
Yeah. Do they relate to that? And because they can see themselves, wow, you're helping them by being expressive yourself.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's really wonderful. What do you want to leave our audience with today? What is the message that you want to leave us with today as we are listening to you? What do you want to say?
I would encourage people that to find what they want to do with their life and to be able to find a way to be able to do that. And it may not be the original way that you might have thought, but just to go out there and just to find what you want and to find a way to do it.
Yeah, to do what it is that you want. So
yes, definitely.
Yeah, is that what you're doing?
Yes, I believe. Yep.
Yeah. And what about you said you were married, right?
Yes, I am.
Did you say your husband was a teacher also?
No, he does. He works for a call center and does IT work. So, yeah.
Oh, he's a tech guy.
He is.
Is he doing what he wants?
Yes, he is. He also writes as well too. So
okay.
He's had his book, things published. So, yep.
So you're the writing family. So
we are.
you're the writing family and the family
yes.
that's doing what they want and enjoying it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Well, Michelle, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show. I think it's fabulous that you're out there helping people become more accepting with their disabilities, their learning disabilities, bringing it out more mainstream, finding ways where we can make this normal in our lives and building bridges and inspiring people to do what it is that they want and have fun doing it.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for having me on the show today too. I appreciate that.
That's wonderful. Thank you, everybody, for listening and for tuning into the Kornelia Stephanie Show. Stay tuned next. Jacob, you're going to love me for getting it right this time, and that is stay tuned for Rosie Perez coming up next. See you all next time. Take care, everyone. Thank you.
You've been listening to the Kornelia Stephanie Show, Wake Up to Love, your call to action. Tune in each week on Transformation Talk Radio. Kornelia's joy is to engage others in practical ways, showing us how to live in the new earth in harmony with our true nature. For more information on Kornelia and her extraordinary work, or to listen to past shows, go to her website at korneliastephanie.com.